Hello YouTube and welcome to episode 7 in the Symphogear reaction series. Sorry for just the one episode this week, but I am currently unwell. I think I have a stomach infection or something. It's really doing my head in actually, so thumbs up for that. So we'll see how we go. If I'm a little bit low energy, that's probably why, but the drugs have kicked in, so I'm good to record, I hope. Either way, shoutouts to the Discord again. If you didn't know, there'll be a Discord link in the description. Please join it at your leisure. We're doing lots of fun stuff in there all the time, so please come along. Either way, just going to jump into the comments from last week just to see what you guys had to say about last week's 2 episodes. Jeromero435 comments here. No matter how many times I rewatch Symphogear, trying to listen to the English and read the subtitles at the same time for episode 5 hurts my brain. Yes, very much so. It's I think another comment explains it later, but she's not even bad at English. They just kind of made her be bad at English, which is strange. I don't understand why. But it was very funny. I thought it was entertaining, so that counts for something, I guess. But yeah, it's quite hard to understand. Either way, thank you for the comment. Next comment here from Vitaly Kuzmin. OVAs is a must-watch in my opinion for various reasons. 1, 100% canon, 2, really cute and funny, and 3, despite being mostly for fun and stuff, sometimes OVAs show different sides of characters what main episodes didn't show, diving more into characters, their psychology, making them more likable, more understandable, and overall more interesting, I guess. Yeah, I agree overall with that kind of take on OVAs. So yeah, I'll definitely be watching the OVAs for kind of this for Symphogear. I just don't know when I watch them. Do I watch them before season 2 or after season 2? I'd imagine it's after. That's generally how they work. But they are on the docket, so do not worry. Next comment here by Bamps. Discord makes it so much easier to share pictures and things. Agreed. Join Discord. Chris in episodes 3, 4, and 5 is using 2 relics, Nehushtan makes the armor and the whips, and Solomon's cane is the thing that summons and controls the noise. Got it, thanks. Super straight friends totally wear underwear in their other super straight friends' colors. Yes, there's been lots of discussion about the underwear as well, which is apparently they swapped underwear or something. Put the images up. Put the images up there if we got them. In some more of the super straight things, it's pretty clear that Miku is romantically interested in Hibiki. All of the little blushes and half-started statements, but ever since episode 2 when Hibiki ran into Tsubasa in the cafeteria, Miku is being blown off by Hibiki. Their plans are being broken up and Miku isn't getting a good reason out of Hibiki. Now she sees her crush in the hospital visiting Tsubasa, and that nagging doubt of Hibiki is in love with Tsubasa is likely what she's thinking. It fits in with why Hibiki came to the school, her obsession with Tsubasa's music and everything else, ending up in what looks to Miku a very straight love triangle. Yes, very straight in inverted commas. That's why it was so tragic in the moment. I'm like, oh no, Miku, darling, no, this isn't what's happening. No, it's all going to be okay. But as we know, we got to the end of the episode, and hopefully there's some kind of clearing of the air there. Hopefully. Quoting me, it kind of just keeps going. Symphogear does this crazy style where it gives you just enough time to digest what is happening. We know that Miku is at Flower, Hibiki is like, I'm gonna go to Flower, and then we get Chris attacking, and then we just get enough time to comprehend that Miku is in the area and is going to be at risk, right before seeing Miku put into danger. Yes, it moves very quickly. Doing my little recaps that I do before episodes was pretty tough this week, I must say. I might change my format there for these if they're going to go at that pace. The text on Chris's attack is Nirvana Gedeon. Okay. I don't know what that means, but sure. As mentioned before, the OP is sung by Nana Mizuki, Tsubasa's VA. The ED, though, is sung by Chris, as opposed to Chris's VA. The ED is in character and canon viewpoints. I was thinking this. Some of the lyrics kind of make sense to her plights at the moment. I think a lot of it will come together once we learn a little bit more about her backstory. Episode 7 is one of my favorites this season. Good, I'm watching it today, so hope it's good. Thank you for the comment, Bamps. Next comment here by Seraph Armaros, I want to say. The food they get at Flower is okonomiyaki, which is super delicious if you've never had it. And Chris's attack is Nirvana Geddon. You'll find all of her attacks and not so subtle rock references. I'm imagining it's the band Nirvana, I'd imagine. Anyway, yeah, I should try more Japanese food in general. I'm a bit off my food at the moment, but thanks for the comment. Next comment here by Bonnie2132. Episode 5 thoughts. Ryoko is as sus as her driving is wild. Notice how her broken phone is conveniently working by the end of the episode. Yes, I did notice this on rewatch, which was fun. The fact that they intentionally make songs sound imperfect during battle is both realistic and one of the coolest things about Symphogear. This neat aspect of the battle singing only gets better later as the VAs and sound recording equipment improve. In an interview, it was revealed that the English was actually intentionally made to sound bad. I forget the reason why they did it though. Yeah, I'm curious about this. I don't know why you would do that. It's funny. Is it meant to be funny? I mean, I don't know. Symphogear is being made for me, Mr. White Guy, so I shouldn't be talking like that. But anyway, removing heels mid-fight just makes Hibiki 100 times more badass than she already was. This was a great touch. I loved it. I love that there's no in between animation from the car driving and then suddenly being flipped on its roof, just goofy season 1 things. I didn't see this one. Maybe I'll put in a clip here if I remember, but yeah, a little bit goofy, sure. If you listen again, that choir music is actually chanting Symphogear over and over. It's surprisingly catchy. I'll need to watch out for that one as well, because I didn't quite notice it. But thanks for the comment. Vitaly Kuzmin had another comment here with a bunch of different observations with time codes that I probably won't go into here, but thank you for the comment again. I kind of went through them in my own time and they're pretty good. Nice little jokes there. Vincent also cleaned up his spoiler warning from last week in that it wasn't really a huge spoiler. Yeah, apparently it covers the concert scene from the manga that wasn't in the anime at all. So there's a little bit of extra context there around the first episode, which I went back and read. Yuki Ali, next comment here. Fun VA trivia, not sure if mentioned already. Miku's VA is Yuka Iguchi, and in the same season as the airing of season 1 of Symphogear, she was in another show you're reacting to, Tsukihi Araragi, as both this and Nise Monogatari were airing in winter 2012. She had a great little patch there then. I can kind of hear it now that I'm thinking about it, kind of the vocal similar ticks and that kind of thing. But yeah, we just came off Tsukihi's episode kind of arc thing in Monogatari, and it was quite good. So shoutouts to Tsukihi. Next comment here by Flare Knight. I love Genjiro's training. It's absolutely ridiculous, but it works. It really seems to work for Hibiki. Contrasts wonderfully with the majesty that is Symphogear's English. Rarely have I heard the English language mangled so horribly that the subtitles are necessary for people that speak English to understand it. I feel so bad for Chris in these episodes, absolutely tormented by a total psychopath. I'm imagining this is Fine. While she's really aggressive towards Hibiki, you can get that there's like kind of a lot going on with her. I think it's pretty obvious to me at this point that Chris isn't going to be a traditional villain. She's not going to be bad forever. It's a lot of circumstances caused her to be the way she is. One thing I do love about Symphogear, though, is how they do work to make the singing feel like it's happening. They aren't just singing normally regardless of circumstances. There's emphasis on certain words in the heat of battle, or their singing is disrupted by dodging attacks. It'd be easy to have them sing and not consider things like this, but they put in the work. I want to see this expanded further. I think it's a great idea. It's something that I haven't really seen before, right? It's something that you only get with kind of a stage show where you can really focus on certain words during battle scenes, that kind of thing, and, really feel a performance. It's something that I haven't really seen in a show before, and it's pretty cool. Next comment here by Pencil Sharp 333. Caught up. Symphogear reactions are so good. You mentioned Violet Evergarden in the last video. Violet's composer, Evan Cole, was one of the members of Elements Garden for a while, and we'll hear him on G and GX. That's fantastic. I didn't know this. Violet Evergarden is one of my favorite OSTs. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So I'm looking forward to whatever he does there. That sounds incredible. Elements Garden has done a ton of great anime music. Anyone who has listened to Bang Dream or D4DJ will recognize Agematsu's sound, and also a lot of Nana Mizuki's work in the 2000s. The other members have some great credits too, like Daisuke Kikuta on Violet's ED, and Junpei Fujita on Haruhi's first opening. That's my second favorite Haruhi opening as well. The first one, the Super Driver. Super Driver is better. And Violet Evergarden's ED is also fantastic as well. So it seems like Elements Garden is just extremely talented, full of extremely talented people. So can't wait to dive more into the music as well. CKOD with the next comment here. Talking about the amount of music. While songs may get reused, it's not for lack of effort on Noriyasu Agematsu's part. So many songs per season, Season 1 has 7 singles, a lot with 2 different songs, and 3 OST background music track albums, with Agametsu in the credits in some form or another on half of them. As you noted, when songs get reused, the characters still grunt, exert, and shout during the songs at different parts, so they have to get re recorded to match the visuals. From what I hear, this was a suggestion of Kanade's VA, the one whose character died in episode 1, so it's likely she's not going to have to re record. So she kind of set everybody up there. That's kind of funny. But I think the effort was worth it so far, so I don't know. All's well that ends well. Next comment here by M. Marsh. The bit of English at the start of episode 5 is bad on purpose. The VA for Fine speaks pretty solid English, actually, so a bit of a weird direction choice. I guess you could say the character has pretty poor view of one speaking English, so it's reflected in her speaking skills. So she doesn't like English speaking people, thinks down on them and their nation, so I'm going to talk bad English to them on purpose. I guess that kind of makes sense. A small detail I like about the book Miku picks up is that it has a yellow square being overlapped by a blue and green square, so it fits the 3 girls' hair and eye color and the situation a bit. I didn't notice this, but I might go back and check that. That seems like a nice little bit of foreshadowing, or at least, demonstrating what's going on. Thanks there for the comment. Edwin Moreno with the next comment here. Chris' backstory, it's in chapter 1. Each little details need attention on Symphogear. So pay attention. I'm trying my best. I hope I am. Maybe. Probably more than a casual watcher anyway. Anyway, if I miss stuff, I miss stuff. I'm sure you guys will catch me up to speed. Next comment here by Luna, or parentheses Alpha Creighton. As if the bath scene isn't gay enough, I think they're wearing each other's underwear afterwards. Orange is usually Hibiki's color, and I think it's what she wears when Miku helps her put on her shirt in episode 3. And of course, I've never heard a boyfriend in my life, that line, but yeah, we know where it's going, obviously. The fact Miku sees Tsubasa and Hibiki and immediately decides against borrowing a book about being honest with herself, it's hilariously on the nose. This is one of the things I actually really like about Symphogear. It's allowed to be funny. They're allowed to poke fun at themselves. It's not super self-serious all the time. I actually kind of love that. But whilst obviously still putting some amount of, the character relationships are still pretty good, but it's not completely like devoid of fun either. I think it's a good mix. My impression of the record every second of this line is that it might be weirdly translated just as an instruction to keep surveillance on the fight because Hibiki is still green and going toe-to-toe with the girl who survived Tsubasa's Zesshou. So they need to be careful and watch out for her. I don't know why else they would be trying to record something, so I think you may be right. And happy to see more Symphogear out there. Happy to oblige. And the last couple comments here by Ver Jr. I wouldn't say Hibiki is attuned, as Genjiro says she may have been, but it's unclear at this point she would be a literal accident victim and relic fragment stuck in her body. So she may not be as kind of pure as what I'm guessing Tsubasa is at that point, but she's literally got a relic in her heart, which is probably contributing to a lot of this stuff. Probably more than I've given it credit for. Yeah, he continues here with a bunch of kind of myth stuff about the different relics and that kind of thing, which I've read through and they're relatively interesting. So lots of different relics being kind of infused here. Feels a little bit like Fate, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. They've got a lot of these kind of things as well. Kind of this old history relics being kind of put into their new sci-fi-esque universe. Bit of crossover there for sure. Anyway, just got to jump into the recap for the last week's couple of episodes. Episode 5 starts with Hibiki getting up early and training hard, much to Miku's confusion, still. Hibiki demonstrates a level of power increase by destroying said punching bag with Genjiro. We pan over to an evil castle where a character we later learn is called Fine is in an English conversation with a group of people about relics and harnessing their power. Fine also has Chris, who is the Nahushan armor girl from before, tied up in kind of a weird, consensual way. Anyway, it's like a weird power dynamic thing going on there, which it's a no-no. We learn a bunch of stuff about the Japanese government situation. So there's kind of Hiroki, who is the current defense minister, who is advocating kind of against the Symphogear project, the kind of disaster squad, but also as a means to keep them within the legal bounds and not increase attention on them. It's kind of convoluted. And this minister is meant to be meeting with Ryoko, but she is elsewhere. We see her kind of driving down a hill. Tsubasa, during her dreaming, meets with Kanade, and they discuss how someone needs meaning in their fighting and something beyond the fighting. That's kind of the main theme of her story going forward. She then wakes up out of her coma and kind of laments her lack of attendance at school, which is kind of funny. Defense Minister Hiroki is ambushed and killed by the English-speaking militia, I'm guessing very similar to the one that Fine was talking to before. This worries the team as they think Ryoko is present in this situation as well. However, she is fine and comes back from the kind of wherever she was with a bloody briefcase. The conclusion from this attack is that the noise and other forces are too concentrated on Lydian, and the cause of this is Durandal, which is a relic, kind of one of the only full relics still left. This attack is seen as kind of a final straw, and Durandal is moved to the Ruins of Memory, which is kind of underneath Parliament. There's a few small interlinking scenes here, like Miku continuing to be worried about Hibiki again, or kind of like worrying that she isn't even allowed to worry about her. And there's also a scene between Hibiki and Ogawa where Ogawa's like, working together is good, and, I can't help but agree. Then we jump into kind of the convoy of the relic. And these cars immediately get into trouble with noise and different kind of explosives going off and everything, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. It eventually comes to a head where Ryoko and Hibiki's car crashes. Ryoko reveals some previously unknown power to stop the noise, and Hibiki is forced to power up. This impresses Chris, who is also there, and sees Hibiki kind of succeeding at fighting where she sucked before. Hibiki's fighting causes some kind of resonance from Durandal as it flies out of the case and into the sky. Chris tries to grab it but is stopped by Hibiki as she grabs it instead. This causes her to go kind of sicko mode as she gets kind of really animalistic eyes and that kind of thing. This delights Ryoko. Hibiki swings the sword at Chris, missing her but causing an explosion from the chemicals factory either way. Later on, as the smoke clears, everyone is cleaning up from Hibiki's kind of explosion, and Ryoko seems super happy and then uses her broken phone again. So I don't think she's good, is my point. Episode 6 starts with Chris worrying about being replaced by Hibiki in the eyes of Fine, probably spurred on by some kind of childhood abandonment issues based on her small little 4 flashback. We pan over to Tsubasa, who is now walking and kind of on a drip, still thinking about what's beyond the fighting before looking down to Hibiki training hard with Miku. Hibiki is way stronger now and kind of runs further beyond Miku whilst thinking about going further beyond. Miku used to do track, so this is kind of impressive. Then the least gay scene ever plays out where they're kind of in the bath and trade underwear. Weird. And kind of the most important thing from here is they agree to have a pancake date later, or Okonomiyaki is the name, yeah. We pan to underground with some political trickery is afoot before Ryoko leaves for undisclosed reasons. This political trickery is like, okay, so Hiroki's dead, he's being replaced by a pro-American guy who is also very pro Disaster Squad. So he's going to fund Disaster Squad, and Disaster Squad's going to fuse more with Americans, and it was an American militia that took out Hiroki, and yeah, it's all kind of coming together and not looking great. Hibiki is then called into action by Ogawa, who seems to be doing something else. This delays Hibiki's date with Miku, and this action that Ogawa wants her to do is go and visit Tsubasa's hotel room, kind of seeing to her needs and cleaning up after her and that kind of thing. Tsubasa uses this opportunity to ask Hibiki why she fights. As they do this, Miku sees into the room, and obviously she assumes the worst. Miku then goes off to eat the okonomiyaki alone. Getting some advice from the server there. On her way back, she kind of sees Hibiki in the distance, kind of running towards her. Chris has decided to attack at this very moment and forces Hibiki into battle, revealing her secret to Miku. Hibiki, reflecting somewhat on the conversation with Tsubasa and the influence of Durandal on her in the previous combat, tries to level with Chris to minimal success, like tries to get Chris on side rather than just fighting her. Hibiki then tries to generate her armed gear, but puts the energy into an almighty punch instead. The episode ends with Miku watching on confused but feeling for Hibiki in this situation. Just a few predictions before we jump into episode 7. Conflict resolution between Chris and Hibiki, maybe involving Miku in some kind of way, because the battle is still ongoing, so we'll see where that goes. Ryoko will continue to be sus, and maybe we'll get some stuff into Fine's master plan or whatever she's thinking overall, but maybe that's a bit of a pipe dream. Either way, just going to do my shill stuff before jumping into episode 10. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I can do to improve my presentation, comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And I'm doing the Discord thing, so Discord link, description, join if you want. It'll be cool. Rightio, jumping into episode 7 right now. Rightio, got episode 7 up here ready to go. Let me pop that up on screen. 23 minutes and 41 seconds on this video, so sync up accordingly. There will also be picture-in-picture in the description for those who want it. And yeah, just going to jump right into episode 7. Rightio? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Yep, exactly where we were. Indeed. Alright, straight into opening. That's nice. That's very relaxing for me. I was all ready to kind of focus in. Listen to my song. Great. There's a little bit of Angel and Valkyrie stuff as well with the wings, so maybe we'll look into that as well. Yeah, this song's super growing on me, by the way. Very catchy, actually. I love the different pieces of it kind of smushed together. Like, it's not the same melody all along it, you know what I mean? Like, the breakdown here is great. Look into the camera. Great. Great. Alright, what are we doing? Toward the fate that never stops assailing us. Radio. I like this song too. I don't know. How can she? Oh, really? Yeah. Nahushtan doesn't seem very good. Seems kind of, parasitic. You can, Chris. Christian. No, not Christian. No, 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 no. Not Christian. Don't call her Christian. Yeah, just talk to each other. Yeah, great. That's pretty slick animation. Is it like a ticking time clock or something on her? Armor Purge. Oh. She got very naked. What is happening? Itchy ball? Itchy ball. Alright, cool. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to take Itchy Ball seriously, I'm sorry. Oh, this episode's kind of sending me. Oh, her costume's really cool, though. If there's one thing I hate, that it's singing. Oh. Oh, that's great. Why does she hate singing? Oh, and then we got a new song to read as well. Come on, it's showtime. And then she's got like a rock band kind of stuff, right, going on. Great. Yeah, I like Chris. She's cool. shield. Oh, she's here. I was like, what am I looking at? That's what I'm looking at. No, I'm back now. I'm back now, bitch. Oh, I like that. Like, yes, I won't do anything rash. Like, I've actually got value again. I need your help? Yo. Character development. I love it. Ooh, that was cool too. They kind of both turned out at the same time. The second relic, which was lost 10 years ago, is that Itchy Ball? Are these noise or something? What is that? Hmm. A human failure. Ooh. Oh no. Here she is. What's up? End? Or Wadi? This is like information overload right now. Oh no. Abandoned again? What is she evaporating? Okay, so she's like a witch. This episode is nuts. Into the water after, for sure. Where's Miku in all of this? Ooh. Yeah, from the, okay, newspaper. Maybe. Potential attuned who disappeared 2 years ago. She doesn't look that much. She doesn't look 2 years younger there. She looks way younger than that. Oh, and then Miku's with the men in black. Okay. Okay. Extrapolate. Need to find your own. More human again. Hmm. Just do what you want. What do you want? That's such a hard question for somebody like her. What do I want? Something I used to love. I don't know. She just had like a crazy scan. What the hell? Yeah, go to bed. You've done enough. What, Miku? Yeah, friend. Hmm. She's got to sign the NDA. That's not ideal, though. Yukine Chris, one of the attuned. Yeah, perfect health. Oh, but you're kind of smiling, aren't you? Oh, Nakama. Oh, they've met on a level. That's good. Yep, you do love your food. Sleep where it's warmest. Of course. Stop poking her tits. Oh, is she healing quickly? Okay. What is this music? What are you thinking? I'm reading Cat's magazine. Oh, is she mad? Oh, she's mad. Oh, she's really mad. Oh no. Oh no, you stuffed up. She's so mad. Hmm. But she was between a rock and a hard place for sure. Where are you going to go now? Ningen Dayo. Crush every human with the will and power to fight. Ooh. Ooh. Was what her was her thing like a war based thing? I don't think he's bullying her. It's crazy. Not all humans are evil. Hmm. Why did you just say so? But you just assumed. Great. Look at this Sundari shit. Are you humming? No, I hate it. Yeah. We've been through this. Ooh. Since it does nothing but destroy. Okay, we found Dad. That's good. Got us lost. What, get along so well? It's true. Back to back to relationship drama. Oh no. Yeah, you're done for. Just go to bed. Go sleep on the couch. Oh, something about the sunlight through the curtains, maybe. Oh, the eyes too. Yeah, we used to be so innocent. What happened? Okay. Sorry about hitting the mic. Ryoko internal monologue too. Mm-hmm. Zesshou. Hmm. Hmm. Exactly. Interesting. Uh you have a lot of pictures of her? Paradigm shift. Yeah, but I don't think that's sustainable either. Okay. Hmm. She's still mad. This teacher hates her. Or another overdue report. I'm guessing Miku isn't going to help with this one. Going to be by your lonesome. Oh, back at the cafeteria. It's been a while since we've been here. Oh, that looks good. It's not all her fault, but mostly. What are these like fourth wall breaking characters? Yeah, what do you do all day? That's exactly what it is. Later. I'm still mad. Oh, immediately chases after though. That's good. Oh god, she's clearing those stairs like crazy. Oh, that's bad. The triple zoom, too. I think there's something deeper there, has to be. End of the episode? Yeah. Righto. Interesting. It's so much. It's so much in one episode. Where do we even go? The start was insane. So is Ichi is that different to Solomon's Cane? I'm guessing that's another different relic, is it? And then there's all the Chris stuff. Not calling her Christian, no matter how much the show wants me to. Not doing it. What else do we have? Lots of Miku stuff. That kind of came to a head. The drama continues. Of course, Miku would be upset. I guess I was stupid for thinking that she wouldn't be. But I think like a I'm literally like a superhero is a pretty good reason to keep a secret. I don't know, but I think there's something else there with Miku for sure. And then Ryoko's whole thing, she seems kind of nuts. Oh, post credit. Oh, great. I think you turned to the wrong person. She's just naked too. Hmm. Cutting gear. Oh god. Yeah, you definitely turned to the wrong person. And that's where we end? Okay. Radio, just gonna jump into a quick bit of analysis on that episode. Literally so much happened that episode, it was kind of insane. Like, it just went and went and went and went and went and went and went. So, we have a little bit of Subasa stuff, a whole lot of Hibiki Miku stuff, a lot of Chris development, a lot of choice lines there from Chris, especially around not wanting to sing, and what does that mean? Fine seems to be revealed to, I don't know, be like really weird. I don't know what Fine's deal is still, but not good. Definitely not a good person. And Ryoko similarly doesn't seem to be good either. It seems like these two women are obsessed with Hibiki in a weird way. At least Ryoko's is a little more good, kind of. I don't know. It's hard to say. But I think the big things to take away from the episode is that Chris is in danger, is that Miku and Hibiki are no longer friends. Tsubasa still needs to find what's beyond the fighting. needs to find a purpose, maybe a hobby or something, I don't know. What she used to want to do with her life. Just do what you want, right? So yeah, I see no better way to do it than just to jump right into the episode, I guess, and pause when I find something interesting to talk about. So the episode starts immediately where we left off and we jump into the opening. And here we are, episode 7, Toward the Fate That Never Stops Assailing Us. The punch has just been completed and kind of Chris has flown back and Hibiki's singing as a result. Chris notes here that that punch itself was almost as strong as that other girl's superb song, which kind of talks to what Ryoko was saying in the end of the episode, where kind of if somebody was able to do superb songs kind of without dying, without putting immense stress on the body, then they would be unstoppable. It'd be like a new race, it'd be like a paradigm shift, right? It'd be like a new step up for human. I think that's what Ryoko is kind of looking at this from the perspective of, and kind of hyper focused on Hibiki as a result. I'll talk about this now as well. So the concert, right? It was meant to kind of generate a significant amount of phonic gain to power up Nehushtan, and it kind of worked, kind of didn't, but caused an explosion. Anyway, you guys saw the episode. Um, but Hibiki singing against those noise and Chris that one time was enough to power up Durandal completely. So she clearly has some amount of internal strength. As we see here, Nehushtan continues to like parasitically kind of graft itself to Chris here before it explodes off later. Hibiki's still singing here, like it's in the second person, right? She's singing to someone. I'll never forget your kindness. Is this still Miku? Right? She's still thinking about Miku while fighting. That's maybe a theory there. And this is where Hibiki called her Chris-chan, and then I'm like, no, don't call her Chris-chan. We're gonna call her Chris. Chris. Anyway, this is where kind of Hibiki tries to level with Chris, right? Let's just stop the fighting, blah, 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 blah. However, this isn't how Chris is wired, right? Chris thinks that, the only way to stop war is to kill all those that kind of perpetuate war in a way, right? Kill all those that fight, and then the world will be a happier place, right? No, it's pretty basic little philosophy that's probably buoyed by, her tragic backstory. So I'm guessing that, she was stolen kind of maybe in a war-torn country-esque effort, right? And then she's like, well, the reason I got stolen away was because of war. And if we stop all war, then that won't happen to anybody else again, right? It's kind of her look at it. That's just from one read of the episode. I'm sure I'll pick up on some other details here. But yeah, seems kind of. It's funny that she's calling Hibiki naive because I think her idea is naive as well. So maybe they're not so different after all. This is where Chris kind of powers up a little bit more, kind of, spurred on by, what you're saying is bullshit, you're naive, blah, blah, blah. And then hits him with the take this armor purger. And this is where it gets interesting. She starts singing a song very similar to what the other girls sing when they're transforming. So turns out, hey, Chris was attuned this whole time. Hooray! Which is kind of a surprise to me. So she has this different form when she's not wearing the armor. Using the relic Ichibal. So I'm going to try to not be kind of childish and call it Itchy Balls. I think that's, Ichibal. It's very different. And yeah, this isn't Solomon's cane. I was wrong. So it's something else entirely. The relic that she has that powers her up. Okay. So they even got their hands on the lost second relic. Okay, so this is the relic in between Amino Habakiri and Gungnir. So interesting. This is where the second relic comes into the picture. Hooray! And yeah, so it seems that she's attuned. They knew that she was attuned from their records before, and then she got stolen, and then somehow they've also gotten their hands on this lost second relic and kind of powered her up with it. And yeah, we see the outfit here. Her primary color seems to be red, in a similar way to blue is Subasa's, and I'm guessing like yellow is Hibiki's. The costume's pretty neat. I'm not sure about the whole headgear situation, but sure. And yeah, this is the interesting line. If there's one thing I hate, it's singing. You forced me to sing. Now, what is singing is kind of an extended metaphor in the Symphogear universe. It's sharing your feelings. It's, when you sing whatever's in your heart, right? So if you hate telling everybody around you actually how you feel, then you would hate singing. If you would hate revealing information like that, if you were somehow potentially previously discouraged from doing so, discouraged from sharing your feelings in such a manner, then you would react like this. think it's an interesting point of view to come from. And let's read the lyrics to her song, which are also pretty loaded as well. All the wounds that pierce my flesh, you and your childish justice, definitely talking about Hibiki. I'll rip it to pieces. And yeah, it seems like it's a bow of some kind that she's using, like a cyber bow. And miniguns as well, of course. Bro, I really wish I could read this font. It's kind of killing me. Anybody that could tell me what this says would be greatly appreciated. She says, "Come on, it's showtime." Again, there's maybe this kind of rock music motif going through what she's doing as well. So there's a little bit of that in the music as well. It's actually probably one of my favorite songs so far musically. A rain of blood like a volcano. That says Megadeth Party. I can read that one. So Megadeth is a metal band. I know that. So she was kind of firing into the smoke there, and there's something in the way, like a giant shield or something. No, it's instead a sword, and we get the music change, and I love it. It's great. And there she is. Tsubasa's back, probably still not in a very good way, but enough to help out at least. I decided I'd never lose anything again. Because kind of Chris goes, I heard you were wallowing in your own sadness and wanted to die. It's like, well, yeah, nah, bitch, I changed. I switched it up. Tsubasa, don't do anything rash. Understood. Good. Good, good, good. Kind of a bit of value in her own life in a way, right? She's not going to go hell for leather. She's not going to sing her song again because she values her own life a little bit more. That's good. Remember that I haven't fully recovered yet. I need your help. Another great character development step, right? And oh, yeah, look, she hates it. So, yeah, accepting help, not working on your own, valuing your own life, valuing the opinions of others. Good. Great stuff. I love character development. It's always good. It's always good when you see it play out like this. Strength won't wane, scenes of carnage filled with cries of lament. Wipe away my tears and tedium, my memories and my pride. Interesting. Okay. This is an interesting fight because it's a powered up Chris, right? But it's also a Tsubasa with a different mindset, which is, I don't know, everything holding Tsubasa's back is up here, right? Of course. So seeing that kind of play out differently is very interesting to me. And then something falls from the sky that looks like noise and kind of smashes up her guns. Before Hibiki jumps in the way of one that would have hit Chris. Sorry, it would have hit you. So, yeah, again, the full self sacrifice heroic journey thing. So, Hibiki still sees the humanity in somebody like Chris and doesn't want her to die, right? That's against her code. Makes perfect sense. And yeah, probably is going to end up convincing Chris in a way further down the track. Like for Chris, it's like preposterous that a human, the one that would fight her, one that can fight, would act like this for another human. It's impossible. It's inconceivable that somebody that could fight could also self-sacrifice like this. Don't treat me like a human failure. I don't need your help. Bit of tsundere, bit of blush. Okay. Human failure is interesting too. Failure as a human. And then, yeah, Fine goes, looks like this mission was too much for you. And this is where the abandonment comes back, right? This is where what I'm guessing's happened in the past is that she's been separated or abandoned or blah, 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 and it's warped her worldview, right? And then Fine's come in, said, hey, we can take your kind of philosophy about stopping war and actually apply it, right? In reality, Fine's using her, and then this is where it all comes to a head, right? I found somebody better. I found Hibiki. Hibiki can probably do whatever I want better. I'm going to let you go to the wayside. Then, I know, this triggers a response in Chris at the end of the episode where she goes crawling back to Fine, which was a mistake. She shouldn't have done this. But again, I'm pretty sure we all know this. It's an absolutely insane shot of Fine too. I don't know why there's just like a balcony over the sea randomly here. I didn't really picture that in the kind of setting we had, but sure. And yeah, she's got Solomon's cane then, has generated the noise to kind of annoy at this point. But she's also got her own power later on, which is interesting as well. Either way, she's basically here to sell Chris to fuck off. So, Fine, a woman called End. So I'm imagining that's like finale or same kind of base word. Okay. So what if her name means end? What are we ending? Humanity? Maybe. I don't know. We'll read into it a little bit more, maybe. We don't need her. I can extinguish the flames of war on my own. Then the curse on humanity will be broken. So war is a curse, she thinks, right? World peace is kind of the goal there. And Okay, I think maybe these two are somewhat aligned, but not in the way they think. Because I think what Fine's thinking will technically end all war, but it'll also end all humanity. But then is war or is fighting, is conflict inherently human as well? I don't know. Interesting stuff. A little more heady than I probably prepared for today. Anyway, Hibiki seems important to both Fine and Ryoko, whatever they're planning. So yeah, I have no more business with you. This devastates Chris, of course. Kind of the sad shock into anger, which is good emotional response there. Um, it's funny how we have kind of a I have no more need for you scene here, with the I don't want to be friends anymore scene later in the episode too. I think that's some nice thematic stuff there. Did she take Nahushtan here, I'd imagine, in the tornado? Interesting. Either way, the fight is over. Kind of Fine jumps off the balcony. Chris goes after her, and yeah, we're kind of out of it. Oh, 16 years old as of now. Okay, I was like, if she was captured when she was 16, she doesn't look like she's 16 there. Anyway. Yeah, so she was a potential attuned that got kind of kidnapped and taken away. And that was maybe the news article that we saw a little while ago. And then, yeah, we cut to our, I'm guessing, commercial break with a look at Miku, who's surrounded by the men in black, going to make her sign an NDA and do all that kind of stuff. Very cool. I think I can understand Kanade's reasons for fighting a bit better now, where with Tsubasa in the elevator now. But to be honest, I'm afraid to make them my own. I don't think you have to. I think you should strive to find your own. As she says later on, or the disembodied voice, just do what you want. It isn't hard. But that's the hardest question of all, right? How do you tell someone like that, do what you want? They've never been able to do that before. Interesting. Yeah, here Tsubasa almost sees herself as non-human. Yeah, lots of human stuff this week, right? What constitutes a human? How can somebody be a human? It's kind of what we've been talking about with Monogatari lately as well, which is interesting. Tsubasa ends that scene. I'm sure there was something I loved a long time ago. So that's another plot thread we will need to follow. Rediscovering whatever it is that she used to love before kind of this whole thing overtook her life. I think the implication here is that Hibiki can kind of self heal in a way now as well, which is cool. Hibiki's immediately worried about Miku. I'm sure Ogawa's team has explained everything to her by now. I'm not sure this is how Miku wanted it to happen. The advantage that the relics gave us is gone for good now, in reference to Ichibal being in the hands of Chris and the enemy. I wonder what they meant by that. Did they used to have all the relics? Maybe? Who is that Fine woman? What is she after? Yeah, it's lots of questions. Lots and lots of questions. I'd imagine it's no good. You could see kind of Genjiro here, like, Tsubasa, what were you doing? That was reckless, blah blah blah, but he's kind of smiling as well. This is a good kind of reckless. Tsubasa apologizes. However, I couldn't sit idly by while my comrade was in danger. Good. Good stuff. I'm hoping this means that Tsubasa will take Hibiki under her wing, pardon the pun. Yeah, I think that would be interesting. A little bit more on the job training from Tsubasa would be cool. She says that she just needs some rest and she needs to sleep where it's warmest. Next to Miku, of course. No, this isn't going to happen. Not for a long time now. You stuffed up. Well, kind of. But you also forced into it. It's a tough situation. Listen, I can see it from Hibiki's perspective. I can see it from Miku's perspective, for sure. So what makes it a tough conflict? So now that we've seen all these photos that Ryoko has of Hibiki in kind of her room, the whole touchy-feely stuff becomes a lot more weird. Bad touch. Don't do it. No. There's some kind of reaction here from Tsubasa after mentioning the fragments in Hibiki's heart as well. I don't know, maybe she was just reminded that Kanade's relic is in there. Oh, and then, yeah, Miku is just pissed. Super pissed. She's reading Cats magazine. She doesn't want anything to do with you, Hibiki. I don't need you to explain. I got most of it from those other people, not you. Oof. And then Venom, you liar. We promised not to keep secrets. Yeah, we did. Especially, there was that post-credit scene in one of the episodes where we explicitly did this. So yeah, Hibiki stuffed up, for sure. Then it's a very interesting scene with Chris. So Chris is walking along late at night, thinking about stuff. Doesn't really have a place to go now, in a way, right? My goal is to crush every human with the will and power to fight. I want to extinguish the flames that could spark a war. So if anybody anywhere has the capacity to fight, then we need to get rid of them, and therefore there would be no fighting. It is a scorched earth approach, and no good. No, no, no. Fighting is inherently human, for sure. And it's something we need to keep around. Conflict is what makes us us. Differing opinions. But potentially we don't always have to take this to violence. But still, your method is not exactly helpful. So then this is buoyed by a scene where we see two kind of siblings fighting. So the boy's like, don't cry, what good is crying going to do? And Chris kind of assumes, hey, the boy must be bullying the little girl. In fact, actually, they're siblings. They've lost the dad. The younger child is hysterical, and the kind of older brother is trying to talk sense into her. She's like, don't bully the weak. And I'm like, that's not what's going on here, like, almost certainly, but sure. Kind of swings a fist at the kid, and the sister stands in the way. Wow, it's almost like they can fight with each other and then also deeply care about each other as well. It's almost like humans have the capacity for that. It's a little on the nose, is my point. But at least it's interesting stuff for Chris, who has been not a blank slate, but a little bit lacking in this department so far compared to the other characters in the show. So anything like this is welcome. She's also wearing a very interesting outfit, but anyway, I digress. But is Sundere here? God, you kids will be the death of me. I'll help you find him, so just shut up. Great, love it. I don't know what Chris's situation is like, but maybe this is one of the first times she's been out and about in years, like actually in a city. So this may be a bit of a trip for her in that regard. Whatever it is, it also makes her start to hum. The kid asks, do I like singing? Of course, she hates singing. She hates being true to herself. She hates outwardly expressing what she really feels. And then we get a little more context here as well, especially my own song, since it does nothing but destroy. They meet up with the dad, and the kids basically tell the thesis of the scene. Dunno, we fight a lot. We fight a lot, but then we make up again, so we get along. Great. Just as siblings should do. And I'm guessing that Chris and Fine kind of have no concept of this at this moment. All there is fighting, where's the making up again? Before I jump into this scene, it's very similar to Tsubasa in a way, right? It's a complete rejection of something that is negative to you, right? It's so Tsubasa just became a sword, right? She kind of blocked out all emotion in that regard, but emotion like that's important, and suppressing it's bad. So we've learnt that with Tsubasa. I wonder if she has any sage words for Chris with this regard, because completely getting rid of the bad stuff in your life, it isn't going to work. It's not how living works. Anyway, Miku's super mad still. Like, really, really, really mad. Like, she goes to bed, like, super early. Hibiki here opens the curtains one more time, apologizes, gets nothing, but we see a little eye open from Miku there, which is important. You know, still considering it a little bit, not completely shutting it out. It used to be so simple, didn't it? And now there's kind of larger political ramifications to our even friendship. Just became difficult, didn't it? Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated, Hibiki? Now, this is an interesting scene that I'll probably spend some time on. This is basically Ryoko's internal thoughts, which is not something that I thought would get for ages. So, what is she thinking? Let's see. This is our first delve into what Ryoko's deal is. First, she kind of goes through what being a Symphogear does. It increases the physical capabilities of the user. They apply a so-called barrier coating the skin, stopping the noise from kind of disintegrating you. Lastly, they tune the otherworldly frequencies of the noise using a unique vibrations caused on impact, thus making them subject to the laws of nature in this world. That's why normal weapons don't work on them, and their weapons do. Eliminate the protection conferred by the phase difference. Okay, bunch of mumbo-jumbo. These are the abilities of the Symphogear, and likewise the limitations of a Symphogear when humans handle it. Again, this word human. The price of the energy is the merciless cost of the health of the user, as we've seen demonstrated a couple of times now. As long as there's any dissonance between the human and the relic, we cannot expect the burden on the user to diminish. But then this heart stuff's important now, right? Because we've eliminated that from Hibiki. Another thing is, these aren't like, hey Hibiki, can I have a photo? These are like creep shots. You're weird. Ryoko. You're very, very weird. We go back through it. The concert, which got a lot of phonic gain from the audience and the song, kind of combined Kanade and Tsubasa's singing, which was then amplified and put into Nahushtan, was enough to activate it. But Hibiki did it just like that. So what's the go there? And then, yeah, this is the shot, right? Like, why do you have this many pictures of Hibiki? You're being not normal. The union of human and relic will cause another paradigm shift. And then this briefcase again, right? If humans could sing superb songs over and over again, utilize the full potential of the relics, then we'd have a new kind of super race. I don't think that's sustainable, especially looking at this. This is nothing but a negative image I'm looking at right now. Like kind of vines growing out of or through somebody, kind of the relic taking root. Finally, we will be able to speak with each other using words of truth. And an age where the Lulu Amel could be the masters of their own fate would dawn. Okay, first, the stuff about humans truly speaking heart to heart, that's in tune with a lot of the themes of the show, so that makes a lot of sense. But what the hell is a Lulu Amel? And if it's spoilery, don't tell me this is like hypothetical, right? Yeah, it's just I don't know what's up with Ryoko. She seems like a bit of a weirdo. So continuing on again, Miku continues to shut out Hibiki as she's kind of zoning out during class. We jump to the cafeteria, where this is only exacerbated further. I think Hibiki tries to level a little bit with Miku, but she's having none of it. And then these three friends come in and kind of ruin everything. They say, maybe she's got a part time job. How are you so late on every assignment all the time, even though you don't do anything? Maybe there's some reason there. And of course, Miku knows exactly what the reason is and causes her great pain. She runs off. Only followed immediately by Hibiki. Like, immediately. Then we get our dramatic kind of rooftop scene. This kind of breaks my heart. I thought, particularly Hibiki's VA work here was quite good. The cry at the end, pretty heartbreaking stuff. So Hibiki hid things from Miku. She's really opening up, trying to say exactly why she's sorry. And if she continues to speak like this, I don't think I can be your friend anymore. And then runs off. Not before the triple zoom, though. Gotta love the triple zoom. Yeah, it's blank like, I can't believe you even would say that. Yeah, so bad times for Hibiki at the moment, I guess. I hope there's some kind of resolution to this soon. I hope there's some kind of reveal with Miku as to why she feels this way or why she feels this strongly about it. Flashback, maybe. I don't know. We're going to see. But I hope this doesn't stick around. I really like these two together. And I don't want to see them separated. Then into the ED. I'll probably give the ED a read next week once we learn a little bit more about Chris again, because I was reading it during the kind of ending itself during the reaction and still didn't glean much. But there is a post-credit scene, of course. I know that this was our request, but what I'm saying is your work is too sloppy. We'll be trapped if we get traced. Or is that your intention? So she, Fine, is completely naked again, but also talking to a man where he seems like he has a little bit more of a character compared to the people we were talking to last time, the militia group. Only God can control everything. You know that well, don't you? Before being interrupted by Chris. Again, Chris abandoned, kind of learned a little bit about human relationship and fighting and conflict and that kind of thing, but of course has nowhere to go and turns back to Fine. Tries to get answers. What do you mean you don't have business with me anymore? You were just using me like an object? Yeah. You thought your kind of ideals were aligned, they really weren't. That's what I'm guessing. My head is a mess. I have no idea what's right and wrong anymore. Well, I can tell you one thing, you went to the wrong place. You chose wrong. But it's good that you're conflicted. That's the first step on the road to redemption. Fino's like, why won't anybody do what I tell them? Again, this talk about God, this talk about eliminating humanity almost, right? She's definitely got some kind of master plan for sure. Either way, Fine sicks a bunch of noise on Chris here. Chris also grabbed like a locket or something around her neck and had a look at that as well, so interesting to see where that goes. You know, you never had a chance of stopping a war with the way you do things. Each time you crush someone, you sow a few new seeds of discord. And then she's like, but you told me I could, execute what I wanted with your... And then you wore the Symphogear I gave you, yet you were no more useful than a flea. Chris is getting the harsh reality of who she's actually dealing with. I am immortal, my armor's eternal, I will live until the stars die. Bit of playing God stuff for sure. And yeah, she puts on her kind of sick armor here. Kadingir. And this isn't even its final form, of course. She's going to get even cooler. And yeah, this is about where we end the episode. She's got the gat and she's pointing it at Chris. I wonder if this is immediately we'll pick up, or we'll see Chris later on having run away from this. I wonder what's going to happen there. And yeah, that's the end. That was a great episode, probably one of my favorites so far. I understand the hype behind this episode. It definitely has a lot going on. It's kind of the culmination of a lot of plot threads up to this point. A lot of great reveals. We can at least confirm now that Ryoko and Fine are two different people, which is something that I thought about last week that was obviously wrong in retrospect. There still could be some kind of weird relation there or history there. They seem very similar still, even from a character design perspective, and they both kind of hyper focus in on Hibiki. The Miku Hibiki stuff still going on. I'm imagining that maybe Miku's going to be put into danger some way and need to be saved. Maybe going to have a talk with Tsubasa. There's going to be some development needed or some extrapolation about why Miku feels the way she feels so strongly. But anyway, that's all for next week. And yeah, focusing on the episode we saw today, very good. Loving it. Looking forward to Symphogear every week. Yep, just going to do my show stuff right now before I sign out. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I can do to improve my presentation, comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you would like me to follow you back. And I've got the Discord, so join the Discord if that's something that interests you, and yeah, teach me how to use it. I think I'm getting better, but again, people making suggestions all the time. So if you want to talk about anime, it's a place to come and hang out. At any rate, thank you very much for watching Symphogear episode 7 with me this week, and hope to catch you again next week. Radio. Catch you later. Thank you very much.